Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today is another day of me trying to explain another punishing Grey Raven character. And today's character is called Haicma Starveil. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, to understand that this is a beginner's and intermediate guide only, a meta player will not be able to benefit from this video. So, I highly suggest that any meta players here do not watch this video or leave any unnecessary comments. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, Haicma is considered as a vanguard class, okay, and not only that, her weapon obviously everything 6 star and 5 star exists. That is not the main point. The main point is how you can get this character and what type of weapon and memory resonance are the best one for her. Okay, so there is a certain website that goes by the name greyravens.com. Okay, so if you come to this place greyravens.com, you will be taken to this page. Just click on Haicma Starveil here, and then you'll this page will show up. Okay, now once this page shows up, the following thing that you must need to do is to read these important descriptions here. For example, she is considered as a 90% ice damage and 10% of physical damage dealer. In this case, most of the time, what happens is the character will be doing mostly 100% of ice damage most of the time. Her main specialty is freezes enemy and also deal massive quantity of damage within a short period of time. She is considered as an S rank construct, a vanguard class. Her weapon is a scythe. Her signature weapon is called Galatia, and she is part of the unknown army. Okay, and her favorite gift is a picture book. Okay, now uh, when you are looking at this information here stats, they are not gonna be that much useful. The main usefulness of a certain character is totally dependent on how you use that character, and that's basically it. And there are other factors as well. For example, how good these memories are and what their resonance are. Okay, so obviously this information here is not valuable. The information that starts from this point are the one that you should be looking for. Now, when it comes to the memory build, obviously she will have only one type of memory build, that is called the Aisha set. Okay, so there are total 6 of them, and you will have to collect all 6 of them. Okay, now afterwards, what you must be doing is to understand the top and bottom resonance. What do I mean by that? Well, people will get confused about this part most of the time, so which is why I will give my good example on here. Okay, so if I were to go to this place, and you will see, when it comes to the memory resonance, every one of them will have a top and bottom, and this is not the top and bottom. The top and bottom, which the games actually talk about, is when you individually select a certain memory uh, pieces. Okay, this top one is the top one, and this bottom one is the bottom one. Okay, that is the main thing that you should need to be cleared first. Okay, so when it comes to the top set, the top set must need to have attack plus HP 6x. Okay, and the lower one are gonna be the signature move 6x. And do understand that this memory resonance should make all of the high difficulty content, normal, revival plan, and even a phantom pain case a lot more easier. Okay, it is a general purpose set, so this is the only option you will have. Okay, that is point number one. Now, point number two is there are a lot of this thing here, which I will be explained in another part in this video a little bit later, and similar with this one as well. Okay, so which are the part am I gonna talk about? I'm gonna be talking about them in this training section. Okay, so where is her training section? Let's see. Obviously, most of the time it is in Celica's class, but if she does not appear in Celica's class, okay, then obviously you'll have to go to another place. But because she is considered as an uniframe, she has been directly added to this uniframe, and you can basically come to this place here and start using her and see how you should be using her. Okay, now before doing that, let me lower all of this volume so that when I talk you can actually listen to what I am saying and not the sound. Okay, let's see, Silicas class, member uniframe. Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's start with this one. Obviously, she can also use other characters' weapon, such as this site. This site is actually used by two more characters. So if you already have a site, then that's more than good enough. Okay. Now, obviously, if you just click on this, it will basically show that the three yellow orb is gonna do ice damage. Okay, deal physical damage and then ice damage anyway. And what does this one do? This blue one slashes and deal physical damage and then jump back, swipe with first ice and deal ice damage. Slashes trigger by 3 ping will do ice damage instead. Okay, so basically speaking, if there are three of them, will do ice damage. Okay, so that's basically it. And last but not least is ping of this red one. It will also do ice damage when three ping are done instead of one. Okay, so in every cases, if the ping are three ping, only then ice damage will occur. Otherwise, it won't. Okay. Now it basically says hold and press. By doing so, this small bar indicator which you are seeing in blue is gonna get filled up, and then once you release, it will basically hit the enemy. Okay. Now again, let me do it again, and then release. So that's basically how it goes. Now, once enough of this blue bar has been gathered here, and click on this one. This is basically the signature move, I guess. Now, once the signature move has been activated, what will happen is you will have to click on signature move once and then do a fast, what should I call it? Dodge, and then again do another, and then do this again, and it will basically do damage to the enemy. Now, let's see if I can do some good quality damage to this enemy or not. So, as you can probably see here, that when you use the blue one, this character basically goes backwards. So most of the time what I do when I basically use this character is I don't use the blue orbs unless it is highly necessary. What do I mean by that? Well, here's the thing, let me try again. Okay, maybe in this section I'll show that part of why I don't use the blue orb a lot more frequently. I'll show it a little bit later. Now let's talk about the character switch. So when it comes to character switch, obviously, let's see what happens. So let's say this is Chrome. Okay, uh, Chrome Arclight, or the Chrome Frost. I don't remember all of their name. Anyway, so it basically says first perform a blue ping. It doesn't matter it is blue or whatever it is. Just remember what her color is at in the off field. Okay, it is blue. Then click on blue. Okay. Now once that is done, this will activate. Click here quickly, and then Haicma will basically do a little bit amount of damage, and every time she does that, she will gain 30 energy. So yeah, but that 30 energy will only happen at triple S rank. So you'll have to be careful about that. Now once that is done, just do damage the same way as in the previous tutorial. Obviously, these orbs are not gonna appear that much frequently as I'm pressing. But if you just want to do some damage to the enemy and feel good about it, you can basically do it here. Okay. And you will also gain a certain idea of how to use your character as efficiently as possible. Okay. So second part of this training is done. Now I will be going to the last part of the training. Okay. And this is the last part of the training. Now, in the last part of this training, it is just gonna be use your enemy as a punching bag. Now, as I said, the blue orb, I don't use it often because Haicma basically goes away from this enemy's location. Like it goes farther away, which is not what I wanted. If you want to stay near the enemy, use the blue orb less often, then it would be better. Also, when it comes to Haikma, this new mechanism has been added. If this goes out before the top one, she will do an instant execution. So if you were to ask me what is happening, why there are now two bars, well, maybe to confuse the players. What do I mean by that? In order to confuse the players, new mechanism NAS need to be added, and that's how the second health bar has been added to the enemy's uh, place. Where if you see that the enemy is losing their HP a lot uh, slower, it basically means nothing. It basically means that once the lower bar is gone, instant execution. That's basically the whole thing of that second bar which has been added to the game. Anyway, so if you were to ask me, okay, I have now understand the full uses of Haikma of how to use her, then the overall question remains is which character is she gonna replace? Well, that part it might be a difficult part, but because let me give you an example. Let's say you are playing this place here, or you are playing in this place here. Okay, Phantom Pain Case or let's say Warzone. When you combine a Uniframe with Omniframe, okay, what happens is the Uniframe will lose their damage potential up to 40% or maybe 60%, I think. So with that in mind, if you were to tell me that okay, I'm fine with losing about 60 to 40% of total damage output of a certain character, then I would highly say that you have to re-educate your understanding of how game mechanics work. So from that point of perspective, I would say that if you have this character, go use her in her own places, but don't use with a combination of Uniframe and Omniframe. Okay, so don't do that. So other than that, the question remains is should you get this character? Well, because this character only takes about 10 pulls to get this character, I highly suggest that you get this character, and this character is going to be available all the time. Okay, so you will be able to get this character when the 100% rate is there in 10 pull, or if there is not 100% rate there, then in 20 pull you'll be guaranteed to get this character. Okay, and for her weapon is a problematic issue because when it comes to her weapon, to get her weapon, obviously you will need to do about 30 pulls. Okay, and because weapons are actually cost a lot of these, what should I call it, black cards, getting these thing are actually a lot more problematic. What do I mean by that? Well, you see, I am currently right now collecting enough black cards so that I can get Bianca. Okay, and because I need to get Bianca, Abyss Stigmata, that is, I am not planning on spending a single amount of these black cards on on Haikma, or even with Karina, or even with Nuan. Not these two's weapon, and not this character entirely, because this character will take about about 60 pulls to get, and these two characters it will take about 60 pull to get two of the weapon. Okay, like 30 pull for Haikma and 30 pull for Nuan in order to get both of them their weapon. So I would rather spend only 10 pulls of black cards on Nuan. Okay, and I'm fine with that. But because I am saving for Bianca with Stigmata, I would rather not give any more black cards to Nuan, or this Haicma Starveil to get their weapon. So from that point of perspective, I would say that if you just want to get character because you are a character collector or wife or husband or collector, that is a different topic. But in terms of actual uses, I highly suggest that you get this character only and give her a 5-star weapon, and you save your black cards and try to get either Amber, Karina Daybreak, or let's say Bianca Abyss Stigmata. So that's basically how I suggest that you spend your black cards. Okay, so if you find this video interesting of whether you should be pulling for this character or not, then obviously you can finally guess. You can pull for this character, but don't pull for her weapon. Okay, because after the next two more patches later, there will be Bianca Abyss Stigmata, which I highly want to get. And obviously you can also get Karina Ember because Karina Daybreak, because Karina Daybreak is gonna replace uh Kamui Tenebrion. Okay, because in terms of tank and dark damage dealing, obviously Karina Ember is gonna replace Kamui Tenebrion. So from that point of perspective, if you do not spend any more black cards on Haicma Starville, it would be beneficial for you to get Karina Ember or Bianca Vistigmata. So if you like this video, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.